So, hey guys, this time I got a little project. I'll be checking some offline features on applications, and this is going to be a little serious, of course, testing different types. So, in this case, this is going to be about Firestore. Okay, we're going to have something with Node.js and Mongo, so don't worry about that. That should be next week. But since I don't have too much time to record because I'm currently busy with work, I'm going to just record this little bit of code that you need to make this application to work offline. Okay, so right now you see we have this, okay, and we can of course add. Let me show you my database. Okay, this is my database. You can see here we have the quotes. So okay, I'm running with a HTTP server because you might be asking how you're going to test offline. I'm running a progressive web app with Angular, so this will not work if you have your current application with without the progressive app capabilities. Okay, so you need to turn your application into progressive web app in order to use the offline feature, because that will not work in your local host. So to make, let's say, a progressive web app and Angular, this is Angular 7. Okay, let's take a look at this one. This is in Spanish, but for the people that also speak Spanish, you will see, you can check this Angular Chile, progressive web app, Angular in Medium. Okay, so you can see how to add, because it's just a bit of code, a little part. Let me check. I think it's here. Let me check. Add. Okay, so you just need to run ng add Angular progressive web app. Okay, on your console. So this is currently my application that is not running. Okay, so you need to run this in order to make your Angular application. I don't know about version 8, but 7, you just need to run ng add Angular progressive web app, and you will get your service workers and your manifest. Okay, just like that, and it will automatically add your assets into that, so you can load images and all that. If you want, let me close this. So if you want, I will build a progressive web app in a tutorial, so in the future, so you will have something, But okay, let's keep going with this. So you can see we are online. Okay, and let's grab a code, something small. Okay, let's copy that, let's paste it here, let's get the author, Socrates. Let's copy that, let's paste this, and let's add. So you can see we have this right away, and this should be the last one. No. Okay, so we can see that we have the quote added. So let's check offline. Let's refresh. Now this is running, of course, this is running on HTTP server. Okay, HTTP server-o to open the browser. We will check this in a second, so don't worry about it. And we can see that we are offline. So let's see how this works before diving into the code. That is not too much, actually. Okay, pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever. Let's paste this one, and was Lance Armstrong. Let's just copy that. Let's just close this one. Over here, paste, and remember we are offline. add phrase. So you can see we have pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever inside our array. But okay, let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 records, but we can only see 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we currently don't have this is the same database. We don't have this one inside a Firestore. Okay, but let's say even we add another one. Let's show it first with one. So let me move this one. We know we are offline. Okay, so let's close that one so we can have this one here, and let's add. Let me see where is my mouse. Okay, so we have here the database and the application. Remember that this is offline. Okay, but I closed that because I'm stupid. Now it says, since we closed that, it says we are online. Okay, so let's refresh and let's see what happens. You can see that we get the Lance Armstrong pains temporary, quitting lasts forever. Okay, once we refresh the page because we were offline, so let's check that again. Okay, right now you can see shit because, well, I didn't think I was going to do this, but let me even, how can I go to my phrases? Okay, it should show here, so let's take another one. Let's first offline, refresh. Okay, we are offline. It's not the loader breaks you down, it's the way you carry it. Oh, that's good. Paste that, and it was by low holds. Let's paste that. Okay, we can add, and you can see it's not adding that because we are offline. Let's check offline off. It means we are online, and let's refresh. Let's wait. Did it add that, or let's close this one. Let's refresh again. Let me check. Okay, so it added that. I didn't see when it added that, but okay, but you get the idea because it's my screen is too small, so you know. Let's close this one. Okay, let's close this one. Let's refresh, so you can see it doesn't add anything else. So this is currently working. Okay, so let's check out the code finally. And this is just a simple Firebase, Firestore, and Angular 7. So let's take a look at the HTML. First, it's just the header and a form using the reactive forms. And here we're just passing this from an array. Okay, let's check. You can also use async. I don't know why I'm not using async here, but I think I was going to do something. I don't know, I can remember. So let's take the real-time service because this is what we want. But first of all, let me show you package.json. You can see what I have. Okay, my current version of Angular, everything. So you can see there's nothing else except from Angular Fire and Progressive Web App. So let's close that and let's keep moving. Let's actually go to the component, app component TS. It's just a simple page, so I didn't add any other component. So we're going to add our form group controls and validations and our real-time service that I was planning to do this with real-time, but what the hell, it's better to use Firestore. It's easier to use it, so let's keep working with that. So I added a phrases array that is just type any array or an array of any element, and well, that's just the title. So this is my form. We have only two controls, that is quote and author. So you can see that we have the form control quote and form control author, and on the submit we're going to call this add phrase with the phrases form value, that is these two values from the two inputs. So this is what we're calling when we click on submit. So we're going to call this that real-time service that add phrase. Okay, I think I know why I did this, but let me check. and I'm just resetting the form. Okay, I'm calling the service. So now we are going to go to the service, real-time.service. So you can see what I have, the Angular Firestore. But first, if you haven't seen my other videos, app module.ts, you need to come here and install Angular Fire. You should already know that, and get whatever you want to have. Angular Firestore module, Firestore settings token. Why am I using Firestore settings token? I don't know. Let me see. Let me even go to the, because I Firebase, no, Firestore. Let's go to Firestore. Let me see if there's something there. Firestore offline. So you can see where I got the, well, it's the same. Let's check it out. Nope. Maybe I did something. I was planning to do something, but I can't remember. I'm not sure if this is going to make a difference right now, so sorry about that. But we're going to provide our Angular Firestore. You can do this, or you can also add it, since you shouldn't. No, I think you need to add this. I can't remember. If you have seen my other videos, so it's because there are two ways. You can add it to providers, or you can actually add it inside the component you want to use. But for now, I just initialize Firebase with my environment. Okay, that this is my keys and all that shit. Let's go back to the service. Nope, sorry, I was on module.ts. We enable the persistence. Okay, we need to enable the persistence to be able to fetch and get from the cache. And I'm not sure if we need this, so let me even remove this. So let's see, close that. And I'm going to need to build this again. Let's close this one. Let's delete, well, let's close that one, and let's say ng build prod, because I'm building what I have. So this is going to be deleted. Okay, I'm going to get this dist folder or directory. So let's wait for that. So let's continue with this. So I need to make sure if this thing makes a difference, so I check it out. So right here we already have our Angular Fire initialized and the persistence initialized too, because I think you can see so the offline persistence by default is not enabled, So to enable the persistence, call the method enable persistence. So we need to call that method. Okay, I'm waiting for a message from. Okay, so we need to enable the persistence. Okay, maybe they show here. Okay, but that is working, or this is being done inside the service. So here we just say Angular Firestore module enable the persistence, so we can use the cache. Is this thing yet? Okay, this thing is done. So let's go to this and let's actually go inside this folder, run the git bash and http server o. To open that, it's going to open in. Let me copy this. It's going to open there, but I want this to refresh here. Okay, let's say F12. Let's say offline. Let's refresh, so it actually gets in this simulated state of offline. Let's add something, so we get this. So let's close this one. So this is a little bit of. So we shouldn't have anything that is da 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 inside here. Okay, so we can see the difference. So, okay, let's remove that from the screen. And let's click offline again, so we are online now. Let's do that, and I just saw that it went right down here. Nope, maybe this one. Okay, so it's working. We don't need the token that was down here, so excuse me for that. I don't know why I added that, but okay. So let me resume something. You need to call your Angular Firestore module, but you don't need the Firestore settings token right now. Okay, so initialize the app using your environment keys. You can see my keys there. Well, not the keys, but the structure. And enable the persistence to be able to use the cache. So right, let's go to the service. And inside the service, you can see that we are only calling Firestore. Okay, Angular Firestore from Angular Firestore. And on the constructor, I'm just getting all the data, that is get data. Well, let's see what this thing is doing. So instead of getting the data as usual, we need to do something different. So let's say this Firestore, that remember that Firestore is my private here. And we call the the property Firestore inside this Angular Firestore. We call the collection, and on a snapshot we are going to include the metadata changes, because I can't remember why we needed that, but we actually needed that. I think I found that on Stack Overflow. Oh no, Firebase. I haven't checked this one in a while, so excuse me if I'm Firebase. No. Firestore offline. Oh, well, I always click the first one. So let's wait. Okay. And what I'm looking for, metadata. Okay. So let me check. So if you trust on the values from cache that we're going to use next, specify the option to include the metadata changes when you adjust the listener. So I'm not sure what this thing is doing. So I will need to take a look at that and tell you later on the comments or on the description. So sorry about that. But yeah, we need to include the metadata changes, and we're going to receive a snapshot after this or during this on a snapshot event. And from this snapshot, we're going to get the changes on the document. And for each change, we're going to check if the type is added. So if we added something to the Firebase, to the Firestore database. So if we added something, if the cache, when we are offline, detected that something was with the event of added, we're going to push that. Okay, I think this is yes. If we receive something that is with this type of added, so in this case we are offline. In the case we are offline, we are going to push that change. Okay, and now to receive the data, we're going to check. We're going to create this variable snapshot. That is the query snapshot. We're going to look inside the metadata, and we're going to check if that is from cache. If what we are receiving is from cache, so if this is true, we're going to say we are consoling. Okay, so here we're using those values. We're going to console data came from. If that is true, the cache is true, then we're going to say data came from local cache. Else we're just going to say data came from Firebase server, and we're consoling that. So we didn't see that because we are okay. So you can see we are getting data came from local cache. Let's check application offline console. Let's refresh. So you can see all these things because Firebase, what it's trying to do is trying to send the right now it's not doing anything, okay, but once we try to add something, well, of course it's doing something, but let me explain a little better. Let me get this one, paste that one. Vincent van Gogh. Okay, so you can see it's trying to read. So all these are saying, well, this is trying to get. So this is a post, and it's going to say gateway timeout. So it's constantly checking if we are sending something. If we send something, if we add something, sorry, into this that is calling the database, it's going to say, okay, let's try to send that. But since we are not able to send that, it's going to push it to the local cache. Okay, Vincent William van Gogh is going to be pushed to the local cache, and then once we you can see that is consoling that the data is coming from the local cache. And let's go back to application, and okay. Okay, okay, the time snapshots. Okay, this is something that is changing almost constantly there. So you can see that first it called from cache because it didn't know that we already have a connection again. But after a second, it's going to try to call the server. So once it reaches the server, it's going to pull all that, do the push if it needs to do the push, okay, and is going to receive that and show it to the template. Okay, so we have this add phrase, and that is just adding the phrase. So this using this Firestore collection add phrase, add new. But this is what is going on is just checking if we have this event of type added, or this change of type added into the Firebase. Into here. So if we send that event and it's not reaching the Firebase collection, then it's just going to push it into cache. After we receive, and you can add multiple, okay, you can try that. So it's going to put it in the cache, push it in the cache, and when we get back the connection, it's just going to, after a refresh, it's just going to push all that, all the data to create new, in this case, posts or phrases. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Let me check something. Yeah, well, almost half an hour trying to explain this. But yeah, make sure that you can see we are not serving, we are not using ng-serve, we are just building the this folder. Okay, because we need a server to use that, and ng-serve is not going to work with what we are trying to do. So we need to install HTTP server and run the contents of that dist folder and make our application or turn our application into a progressive web app. So we can toggle the offline online, and we are caching the settings that we have in the browser. Else you will see that a message, the usual message that says there's no internet connection or something like that, you know, with a little dinosaur that appears. So you will see that if you don't have the progressive web app capabilities. So you need to install the ng add progressive web app, Angular progressive web app that I showed you before, to be able to test this. Well, of course you will get this code and you can use it with your own database, because you can see that we are only getting the collection, and that's it. Looping from that, checking the changes if they are from the local cache or the server, and returning this that phrases collection that is this array, okay, and that we are using this phrases array, that is this real-time phrases collection. That is actually this. That's why I did that, because we need to actually check and push and pull from the cache. So that's why I actually created this phrases collection instead of using async. So we can get that array, and from there we can serve either from the cache or from the server. Okay, so we are reading this phrases array inside here, and we are showing the information. Okay, so this is a little, well, I haven't recorded any videos lately, so I think that's it with this demo. We're going to check later a Node.js and Mongo, so that's going to be really fun, so wait for that. If you are interested, of course, in offline capabilities to your, in adding offline capabilities to your applications. So yeah, that's it, and see you on the next one.